Hi. Okay, so I have not talked in probably maybe a week. I feel like if I don't talk for a while and I don't process everything, I feel like when I am speaking, right, like verbally speaking, and I'm trying to explain, to document like what I'm going through, I find it difficult because things come to me in this way where I feel like I have a million just different themes that are all intertwining. My brain doesn't even know how to explain this because it's like I have not conceptualized it completely. My mind goes into these deep thoughts. My mind loves to go there. My mind loves to reflect on things, and I feel like I'm always gaining new perspectives. I feel I've been told from so many people, from society, that I need to fit my brain into a different way of being. Can you speak like this? Can you do an intro? Can you concise this? But the thing is, I don't want to have an agenda with the things that I'm trying to explain, because what I'm realizing within myself is that there's a million ways you can make yourself digestible, but I feel like every way that you condition yourself, it's not necessarily wrong to condition yourself. It's not necessarily wrong to learn outside, to learn externally, to learn a new language, even to try to connect. Because how arrogant sometimes am I? How arrogant am I to perhaps travel to a new culture and just expect people to understand English? When I travel, I try to learn certain words, but like my mind, I don't have the best mind for memory. I feel like that's just the way it is. Like the way I learn, I feel like I've been shamed for so long, and I'm just so sick of it. If my mind just operates in this flow, I'm just going to let it operate in this flow. And I feel like we all have so much shame because we think that we need to fit ourselves into this one way of operating. So there's so many things I want to talk about. I guess we'll see what will come up, but really I've been thinking, is the outside world a distraction? Is everything a distraction? Because I've often said, like, we look to the outside so things can look back at us. Every time I look at myself, I can see something about myself. Every time I look at another, every interaction with someone else is a chance to learn about ourselves. And I do believe that every time you create, it's a chance to reflect and it's a chance to learn about yourself. And I feel like that's why it is hard to create, because it's like you're constantly having to look at yourself, you're constantly having to face yourself. And I don't know why there's this resistance to facing ourselves. Why are we so terrified? When you think about it, what's the core problem? What's the core issue of a lot of things that people are going through? And I think everyone's so terrified to face themselves, but when you face yourself, you realize what you're facing is love. So this resistance is all because of this injected fear, and it's like our bodies can feel this fear, our bodies can feel this programming, but all fear still stems from this fear of love, does it not? Why are people so afraid of love? Just where my mind gravitates to, because perhaps that's part of my authentic blueprint in life, that I'm meant to explore these topics. I really just want to have more acceptance for myself and my journey, and I really don't want to shame myself. I don't know what the answer is. I think just the answer is different for everyone. So when I say, is the outside a distraction, I guess I mean different things. To go out and to have friends and to have community and to have connection, you know, a lot of people say we need human connection. Like, this is what we're here for. We need other people. And I do believe that love between humans can exist, but I just think the love between humans that can exist is just far more complicated. I feel like this idea to me of connection and family and friends is like the soul to life. One of my favorite things about when I was living in Italy is just like Italy has just this romance to life, and I feel like they prioritize collectively. I feel like they prioritize more connection and slow living, and I definitely resonate with that more than North America, because I feel like there's people going out and stuff, but I do feel like there's more of this faster rhythm, and I feel like my soul really connects to like that romance to life. But that romance and that slowness, maybe it is love for the soul. It's like, okay, I'm just going to be and allow myself to exist and not examine myself and what I am. And I feel like culture in North America, Canada, is very different than America, even though I feel like they get constantly intertwined. Sometimes there is a little bit of different culture, but I do feel like it is very self-focused. In my life, I have only become more and more self-focused, actually, even though growing up in North America, I just said we're taught to be self-focused. We're taught to go on these individualistic careers, but are these careers and these things and these communities that we create, is this really from our soul? Sometimes I have a desire to do something in the external world, and I always say go where you're called, because there's some places in the external world I'm like, this is the experience I want to live, this is where my soul wants to be. And I feel like if your soul is longing for something, like if your soul wants to be in a city, then go to that city, because there's something there waiting for you. There's either a person there that you're meant to meet, or there's just something there for you. So I do look to the external in that way. I'm like, well, of course, this is our physical world. How do I want to design my life? How do I want to curate my life? And what I'm realizing in curating my life is that a lot of the times I really do like the simple things in life. And I think I've had a fear of success for multiple different reasons. I've had a fear of being seen for multiple different reasons, and that's because I realized the outside world, it is much a distraction in so many different ways, and it can be so much of a distraction, but it can also be a tool. And what I've realized with following my path is that everything does operate in such extremes. In one way, God has a way of showing us, God, and it's not this patriarchal way, but God will show me, look how special you are. You are not forgotten. You think all these experiences and these things that you went through, you felt that these were so unjust, these things. I really did feel there's a point in my life where I was like really supported, and I felt really hugged by God. Like I felt hugged by the divine, like, look, I have you, but it's like my higher self has me. I was so raw, and it's like I did not need anything. I remember my first ego death, and I felt so much grief and physical heartbreak, and I think back to that time. That's over 4 years ago now, and I kind of miss that rawness with myself. And I think back to 4 years ago, almost like I still had one foot connected to the physical things that I built, and even though I was being shown so many different signs of like, let go of this, because it's not that like learning externally or learning anything or doing anything is wrong, or having relationships with people. It's just that I had to let go of everything externally that was not my soul. As you walk along your journey, there's always more ways that you can let go, right? There's always more ways that you can let go of external attachment. And the reason why external attachment is connected to is a world of distraction, because I've often wondered this, like, is this world a distraction or is it a playground, right? And I think it can be different things. It's fine to be in the world, have these external things. It's not to be in the matrix. If your soul calls to be in a city right now and you want to go to a rock and roll concert and you just feel that, like, that your soul wants to do that, doesn't mean that you are necessarily in the matrix. Like, the matrix, is that not just your mind? Is that not just like this mental prison? And I feel like so many people like to say, I've escaped the matrix. We all live in matrices. We all escape them and then we all re-emerge into them. And I don't feel like it's like ever just like you just escape the matrix. And I don't feel like someone else's perception to re-enter the matrix is to be in this external world. And I'm not talking about the movie. I've heard people talk about that movie, listening to so many different podcasts, and I've heard people mention that movie, and I've actually never watched that movie. You know, when like you hear enough people in different conversations say a movie or say a number, you're like, hey, I'm gonna look up this number. I don't even look up signs. I used to look up what are all the signs, and I used to say how this white bird would fly past my apartment. It was like the same time every day. This was years ago. It's like the exact same thing is happening now. It's not the specific time, but it's like the exact same type of bird, completely different province. I don't know, there's just sometimes like synchronicities that guide you. I guess that also ties into the external, because sometimes the external can be a guide, but everything in life was like always to teach me to reflect back, like, you don't need anything. And because I had to be shown that I don't need anything, everything had to destruct in my life. I thought I let go better than I did. I was always saying if I let go of something, it's because I really let it go. But the thing is with me is like I didn't realize how deep setted my abandonment wounds were, and that's why I was attached so deeply to these things and these people. I feel like I've been on this path to really question, like, what's connection? Connection comes from within, but you can have connection within. You can have experiences within and connection within and not be attached externally. I'm at the point where I'm realizing again, I'm always being shown this, but in different ways. Okay, yeah, the whole point, the whole reason why you had to go through all these things, because how are you going to be a sovereign creator if you don't strip away everything? And I do think that's kind of what happened, because stripping down. But the thing is, like, I felt so much more like my soul when I was stripped down. But when I was stripped down, I was still, even though in that rawness, it was still connected to this love externally outside of me. And I do believe this is an experience. I could be wrong, but this is just my belief. And I had this belief years ago, but now I'm starting to realize I'm adding, it's not that the belief is inherently wrong, but it's like there's different stages. I've been somewhat aware of this. When I want to dive into something and I know my soul wants to dive into that, I do tend to jump into these extremes because I know I do that. But at the same time, I don't think I'm as fearless as I think I am. I'm reserved almost. But at the same time, I don't know if I'm as fearless as I think I am. But that's okay, because it's okay to just be where I am, and I don't need to be at this arrival. I think in me acknowledging that, it's like I am where I am. All of my things I've experienced, every part of my journey, I wish to honor that and to remove any shame or anything, because the world, this is what I realized, I'm like, why am I so embarrassed about things that I have experienced? Like, why do I laugh these things off? What happened to this rawness that you were stripped down to? You're stripped down to your soul to create from your soul. There's so many different ways I was stripped down to. It was like I was stripped down financially, every way where there was no other way to create from my soul. I've said before, like, yes, you can create new opportunities and you can create things, and there's tons of people out there. I talk about how there's so many people out there. It's true, there's so many people out there that are looking for what you offer, what you have to create. And that's a good thing, right? Because I do believe that, like, we are all kind of like guiding each other home. There's people that we resonate with, the way that they deliver a message, we're attracted to their things. With the path I'm on, like, I'm becoming more attracted to, I want to start reading. I was never, I would say, much of a reader, because my nervous system, since I was pretty young, I feel like I've been fighting for my life. Like, I really do. I feel like I've been surviving, and this is a real thing. Like, I feel like my nervous system, even though I can be at peace and I can feel zen, like, it's a very much a war to deal with my nervous system. I feel like women inherit the nervous systems of their mother. My body is like, it's okay. Like, I rather reprogram my nervous system. It's okay to be still. It's okay. You don't have to do, you can just be. But I still have this almost like reliance on external things. I really am trying to be sovereign individuals. I guess I have this fear of the ground being ripped from under my feet again. Body, there's so many fears and things arising within me, and these are external things, and your body will speak to you. Like, sometimes things arise within your body and it's trying to speak to you. So sometimes I will reflect, what is my body trying to tell me? Like, what do I need? What is it about myself? Not who I'm meant to be, because we should not look to the external to say, like, who am I meant to be? But we should look to the external so we can reflect it back inward. Is this really for us? What is this teaching us? What is this doing? And I feel like I've been looking to the external so much because I've been wanting to learn. I want to be cultured. I want to learn all these different languages so I can be cultured. And I think that already being a white girl and growing up the way I did, where there was embedded tradition and misogyny, but there's also this stillness and this hatred and this animosity and the pain of the woman who thought it was their purpose to do this. I'm just exhausted, to be honest, with consuming and processing, and it's like my brain cannot stop. Like, my brain honestly cannot stop processing these things, because I always want to be aware, like, am I doing life true to myself? Am I lying to myself? Like, is there a way that I'm not seeing something? There's a lot of things that I feel like really get to me about the external. I feel like to come to certain truths or realizations, it's everyone's different path. I used to say before, oh, we're just on different steps. That's the way I would look at it. Like, everyone is on a different point of evolution, but it's not like I'm on level 8 and someone else is on level 1 or vice versa. It's that I feel like we all are collecting different points in a different way. We're all just collecting different lessons at different times. That's why there's no like one path. There could be a path and a blueprint and a general way that people can agree with certain things, but people can also have their own spin and their own universal truth and their own thing. That's what annoys me about the outside. I feel like the outside, in so many different ways, it will tell you how to live. It will tell you even what to believe spiritually. This is the way it is. I know. But the only thing that has the most truth is within, and it's your soul. And that is crazy. It is crazy to believe in these things. I'm so tired of gaslighting myself. I'm so tired of so many things in this external world. Why am I tired of this? Why am I interested in a city right now? Because I feel like I was like, hey, non-attachment. I feel like I was in these spiritual states all 2025, and I feel like that's why I was so not afraid, but I felt the call in the pull to really ground. I really have been desiring stability in my life because I feel like my life has never externally been stable, and I was shown I was shown so many different times, stop, let go. And I feel like I had to live with nothing on so many different times. And I think it actually really is difficult to live without things, to feel like you've just had the ground ripped from under you from different reasons. Like there's so many different reasons why I feel like I didn't have external stability. There's just absurd things that would happen. It was like, obviously I was trying to be shown and learn that lesson. For example, I would have paid for this Airbnb when I was traveling, and then I would get completely scammed. And I'm just like in shock because I'm like, how can people do this? This is so unjust. This is so wrong. And when something feels so morally, it's like a war to another human. You put me in such an unsafe position, and people are like, hey, if you get scammed, like call your credit card company. But it's like, I don't have a credit card company. Actually, I literally don't even have a credit card. I'm really old school in that way. I'm just like, I don't want the mental stress. You believe in the goodwill of people. You believe in the connection, and you believe like you can pay something up front. You believe people are good people. A lot of people are good people in this world. But it seems that I keep running into externally, I keep running into people where I'm just like, okay, this can be a good person, but this person can scam me. It doesn't matter whatever I run into, because I am being shown, like, if you are so centered within, does it really affect you? This has been a lesson that God has been trying to teach me. The higher intelligence source, whatever you want to call it, has been trying to teach me. There's this highest intelligence that I, as my human form, cannot see, but my higher self, if that's what you want to call it, can see this, and it's like trying to guide me. I just have to remember, if you just surrender, like, why do you have this fear? It's okay. You need to work through this fear. This fear is an obstacle. It's okay that you do, right? I feel like I was like, I'm fearless. I want to be free. You can be a free spirit and have a desire to be free, but that doesn't mean I'm not riddled with fear. And that's why I had to realize with myself, like, honey, it's okay. It's okay that you're scared. There's probably a reason why you are scared, because the world is so scary and people are so scary. But I don't want to close off. So I feel like a huge lesson last year, 2025, was that, I would say a year ago, I was really in such a spiritual state. And then when you go to the spiritual state, the thing is, I feel like people sometimes talk about Kundalini. It's like, hey, so you start and you go through your chakras and it's risen, right? And some people say the whole thing about your tail, like the symbolism and all that stuff. And I even said on threads that I was asking this question, is it that you eat the tail? What's that analogy where the snake eats its tail because it's running from its own self or something, and then eventually it surrenders and you rise? But the thing is, I feel like this has happened multiple times, and I feel like there is no arrival. I think that, you go through this cycle, and this cycle is like about death and then understanding your sovereignness, and then it's like the reflection. That's the thing. Everything was reflecting things to me before. I'm realizing you are still attached. You are still attaching to these mental anchors, and like your soul is so angered. Your soul is angry. Why is your soul angry? Because your soul feels the rage of the feminine, whatever you want to call it. Like, I feel the ancestral rage almost of like my mother and my grandmother's bloodline. I feel that rage. Why do I feel this rage? Why do I feel these things? I seek the why, and I seek the answers, and I don't think this is something necessarily wrong, but I'm realizing that the way I view life and the way I speak and the way that I do these things, I do not wish to explain myself, right? Like, I do not wish to be right. I do not wish to be confined. I'm trying to understand myself. I'm trying to understand my soul, and life is not about me. I don't want to be filled with self because it does not feel fulfilling. That's another thing about the external. It does not feel fulfilling to be full of self. I feel fulfilled when I am just being. I just am, and I'm not concerned with performance. So I felt like before, last summer, I felt that these spiritual experience I had, I tried to gaslight myself and say these were crazy, but the reason why I had these things is because I think that I had to be shown. I had to break my mom's cycle, and I feel like I still am. I'm just still breaking it, and I feel like that comes with like a choice. It comes with the first uncovering, and I feel like I'm uncovering more more misogyny injected into me that I did not realize was misogyny. My soul is the opposite of misogynistic. Like my soul is like, this is not my soul, but we get passed down DNA and we get passed down conditioning and things through the womb. And I feel like you don't need to come from like particularly a religious family to understand like, oh my god, this family is so misogynistic. I think so much of all of our DNA has that injected misogyny in it, and you have to feel it and you have to address it, that patriarchal conditioning. And I don't know if it's frontal lobe. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm going through this mental shift. I'm questioning a lot of things. I've been really reflecting the last few days. Like I really was getting this routine. I was like really getting into my masculine energy, but in a way that's like more the sun. Like I'm getting things done in a way to support my soul, because that was the whole point. Last summer it was still attached to love externally in the romantic patriarchal sense, but I'm realizing it's not about love outside of myself. It was never about having a daughter outside of myself, and this is like a really heartbreaking realization. It's not about creating any of these things outside of myself. It's not about creating a family outside of myself. It's not about creating a sister outside of myself. It's not about creating a mom outside of myself. I wanted all these things so deeply and so desperately without myself. I cried in agony and I wanted a mom. Too many times in life that you're just like this is horrible, and you just want a mom, but it's not reality, right? Because I feel like I've had a very hard time detaching because I didn't understand what's reality here, what's going on, like what is the reality. But I realize all these experiences, even though they feel gut-wrenching and they feel painful, it's all to teach my soul the lesson of detachment, right? I don't wish to detach and depart from those that I have loved, but I realized that my love for these people, like why have I loved people so deeply? I did not understand why have I loved people so deeply. Perhaps that my soul was so deeply longing for that love, and because of my patriarchal conditioning and mindset, I attached it out externally. Perhaps I was meant to integrate this masculine. I was having these insanely vivid dreams all 2025. It's like I was hit with these ego deaths. It's such a weird freaking thing. It's such a strange experience. It's profound. I don't want to dismiss these experiences, but the whole thing was to reflect back. If you crave that masculine energy outside of yourself, to not seek it, to implement it and to apply it, to apply this masculine energy within me. It's not this to be in your feminine or to be in your masculine. I don't feel like it's like that. I feel like it's coming, embracing the dualistic nature. There's this quote I've mentioned before, but it's about how women have more masculine souls. But I don't know if it's necessarily that women have more masculine souls and men have more feminine souls. I just think that we are each meant to integrate the other part in whatever we are attracted to. Like I realize I'm more attracted to masculine energy because I felt like masculine energy, the energy, not this men, because men is not masculine energy. Masculine energy is an energy that's like about structure and holding this feminine flow. That's the way I've seen it. But I just feel like we are souls. We are so much more expansive than that, and we are here as souls to reflect back what we desire externally. If men desire these things, it's a weaponizing the femininity, because they've taught to be so shameful and to fear that feminine energy. And I've said before, like my preference, why am I not sexually attracted to people? Why am I not this? It's just the way I am. Like I've been through so much. I want to be left alone, but part of me starts to think, okay, well, is this how humans are meant to be? Like, are we not meant to be in community? So I'm like, okay, let me look to the external again, not because I need the external, but because perhaps like I can look out to the external. Okay, maybe I don't need these things. I'm not seeking. I'm acknowledging like, okay, I have this within. I'm gonna go to the external, not to look, but to not avoid. And I never chase anything, because the thing is, I want to be open. I don't want to be closed. I don't want to be so afraid and so scared. But my body is so terrified, to be honest. My nervous system likes the rhythm of slow. My nervous system likes this slow. And I think that means I'm really trying to prioritize my nervous system regulation. I'm really trying to heal myself up instead of medicate myself and suppress these things and cause myself illness, because I feel like we are meant to express and we are meant to know our souls. And I feel like modern society likes to say like, oh, you're just so sensitive, you're this and yes. I don't want to shame these parts of myself. I'm very sensitive. I refuse to medicate myself and suppress these things. I refuse to shape myself. And what I'm realizing is that I am refusing to perform. I want to still explore external things and from a way of expression, but not from this place of having to perform, because if I have to perform, it's asking me too much. I feel like with these things that I have wanted to create with my life, I'm like, okay, I want to create these things externally. To me, this was this inspiration. Look how infinite you are. Look at the sky's the limit. Like, why are you being so limitless? It's having that magical and that beautiful perspective to life to bring what you see out. But I don't feel like what I want to create, it's not for this obtainment. It's from this, oh my god, like I have to translate my soul. Like I'm here to translate my soul. And I really just believe that is what I'm here for. That is what I'm here to do. The more that I just accept that about myself and I just surrender more to my soul, the more that I'm embracing my soul and who I am and really honoring myself and being what I'm here to be, like being what I'm created to be. It is this war. They've created this war not just externally but within us. But I've gotten to this point where I'm realizing what's most important to me. My hair was annoying me, but even that, like perception, it takes away from presence. And that's what I've been realizing. Like I've been taught to be so hypervigilant. You enter a room, anxiety riddled throughout my body. That's the thing. Like I have to do what is best for myself. But I'm never harming anyone, but people get so triggered still, and I'm just exhausted. I'm not trying to feel pity for myself, but I'm really just like truly exhausted. And that's the thing, like I have gotten to this point where I'm like, what's the point of like trying to do anything externally or trying to connect with anyone? Because I've actually just like never connected with anyone. I still have felt I've wanted to be alone, and I felt like I had to change this about myself. I felt like I had to enjoy being around other people. On one end, I think about certain experiences I've had with different people. Some I've just met passing by, traveling, and I only see them for that day. There's something very magical about traveling somewhere. You're just passing. Okay, one time I met this girl who was from India. I actually have met a lot of women from India before. I've met a lot of women from different religions, and some of them have been the most evil little bitches I've ever met. They're so triggered by you in so many different ways. Girls can be so similar in so many different ways, in the ways that some can be so narcissistic and some can be evil. But this girl I met, she was like she was so interesting to me. She was so memorizing. She was so seasoned. She was so seasoned in her spirituality. Our hearts were open with each other, and it wasn't this weirdness thing. It's very rare for me to have that kind of connection, and sometimes you can have that with women. Like I feel like my body has really just closed off from all people because the most interactions I've had in my life have been really people just trying to take. I just keep opening myself up in trusting the benefit of the doubt of people. I trusting like, okay, I don't want to judge this guy because he's a male. I just want to not be hyper vigilant in a room, and I just want to practice being present. I've done these things, but every time that I've opened up in some places, like I've just been shown the reasons why that's not my path. So I don't know. I think that the obstacle is the way, and sometimes that this resistance is something that we're actually meant to face, because if we continually run from it, we're just running from ourselves and running from our souls. But I don't know the answer. Like maybe I'm truly just meant to be in my solitude, and I need to stop apologizing for that, because people tell me this is so unhealthy. It's so unhealthy for you to isolate for days. If I have sun, if I have nature, I don't feel unhappy, because the thing is, I feel that happiness is just an emotion. I feel like that sometimes I'm happy and sometimes I'm sad, but genuinely what I am after is peace, and I'm after safeness, and I have to create that home within myself. And that's what I had to been taught. I had to been taught with this homelessness, is that I've been so terrified. I'm tired of not having a home. I'm tired of running around the world and just traveling and just running to the next reality and the next thing, and I constantly just having to be on high alert. Like I want to rest, I want to be safe, I don't want to deal with people, because if that's the thing with traveling, you are constantly just dealing with people. Is that wrong? Is that wrong that I want that? Because I feel like I've been in isolation for years. I moved to a city and I love it here, and I'm thinking, okay, I had to make this work for me, because there's ways of the city. I feel like when I'm in North America, I feel sometimes there is more of that where people call the matrixy vibe, where people are operating in similar ways. But I think you just have to find things externally that make sense for you. For example, like how can I make this city and how can I make this work in a way that really supports my nervous system? To be honest, like I feel so much safer sometimes just living in a city. There is more noise, like there's cars that drive by, there's people that walk down the street, and sometimes you get reminded of that soul of life because they're singing, they're screaming, and they're having a great time. Sometimes when that happens, I am like, oh, I wish I had friends that I could just be myself around, I could be my soul around. It's not that like I just want to be inside all the time, even though I really do I love going. I need to go get more sun, I need to do more healthy habits, and I need to go on more walks, because sometimes like I'll just like, I'm such an extremist where I'm focusing on that. Like I'll just start walking and I'll walk literally for 3 hours a day, and I'll stop for like 4 months. It probably would be healthy for me to like continue to walk again, but sometimes like I'm just trying to shift and listen to my soul. And honestly, like I feel like my soul can kind of desire that. If I see that on the stream, like, well, why does my soul desire that? Maybe because I feel like maybe my soul does want community and I'm lying to myself. But the thing is, I feel like I do want community in some ways, like I seek that, but it's like I don't. And I don't know, maybe I just have to experiment more. And I guess I have this kind of fear and repulsion at the same time, this attraction to socializing, because I feel, because I've been isolated for so long, I used to be better at socializing. The thing is, for me, like I feel like it's a good skill I could learn how to talk to the camera. I don't know, there's so many different reasons why I feel like it could be healthy for me to learn how to use my social skills and to interact with other people, but at the same time I don't genuinely enjoy it, and I kind of have to force myself to do it. And I don't go out that many times, but the things that I do, I love to go to cafes. I sometimes work better in a environment actually with there's chaos and there's other people around me. Then sometimes you meet someone there, like a girl, and you end up talking and you don't necessarily connect deeply or spiritually. There's still that, okay, this girl's a nice girl, you can tell this girl's not mean, and you can tell she's like, oh, she's very intelligent. Like I met this girl once at this cafe when I first moved to the city, and she was really cool, right? She was really cool for like a girl around my age or things like this that we might have like similar interest in, and not in an obnoxious, annoying way. I don't like to put people in categories, but typically I feel like if some people are interested in certain things, I know that we are probably not going to get along. If you have an interest in watching this show or this show, I don't like to judge people based off their preferences, but I feel like we're not gonna like getting along, we're not gonna like each other's company, we're completely different people. Probably so weird to you and you're probably so boring to me. It's just fine, you know? What I find interesting is very different than like what other people might find interesting. But then sometimes I feel I am constantly going back to eras of my life because I'm not experiencing that era of my life when I'm in it. I talked to this analogy I think before, and it was saying how if you're this age, just be this age. I feel like I've been healing for years. It's like it's so annoying to be just healing and so devoted to healing, and it's like, okay, yeah, at one point do you stop healing and just go live your fucking life? And also there's kind of that mentality of like, how healed are you if you can't hang out around other people? Like how healed are you that you can't hang out around other people? But then okay, I'll go and I'll meet someone and she's a nice girl, and then she'll be like, okay, let's go out, and I'm just like having to think, okay, well, why not, right? Like you've never experienced these things, you should go socialize. But then if you do, and I haven't yet, but it's like people want me to go do these things, I'm like, well, maybe it's fun, and maybe it's fun to go out and do these things and to hang out with other girls. It's not like the concept of going out or doing something's wrong. I don't even know if I want friends. I don't know how to be safe with anyone. I don't know how to be friends with anyone anymore. Is this such a wrong thing? So I think it's important to be rooted and know what you like, but also to experiment and to be open-minded. What I've been kind of trying to realize is like, okay, I've really been reflecting these past few days and having anxiety. I'm like, should I go with these people? Should I do this? And when I look back, if I have ever gone out, I've always felt like it was really performative, to be honest. I was almost trying to prove to myself or to whatever that I could be fun, that I could be this, I could be both things. But it really did feel like this performance. I was like almost showing myself I could be the complete opposite of me, that I can express both the dualistic range. Sometimes I don't know necessarily why I do things. I'm just like, okay, I feel called to do this, but even though I feel called to do this, it still feels performative. And the thing is, what I'm realizing is that I don't want my life to look like this image. I want to have this fulfillment. I don't want to just like have the perfect illusion of everything, because I feel like that's what I'm realizing. I felt like I came from a family of love, and lately I've been realizing certain experiences that I thought was love, and that I know I love truly, because our heart does not shatter and you don't go through that. I know I love deeply because I was seeking that love within myself. But the thing is, this love, did my family ever love me? I also had this realization, or was I just a ploy? Was I just a prop in their own ego game? And I kind of realized it's all connected, right? You go and hang out with a girl group and say you go out and you get martinis, and I don't even like drinking. That's another thing. I feel like it's like, okay, you meet someone and then a girl's like, hey, let's go do this, let's hang out and all these things. I'm like, I should like these things for this age, and I don't want to be boring, and like I don't want to be home all the time, and like I want to explore things, but like these things, there's not fun in it. It's like this illusion of fun. There's been times where I've like tried to prove for myself that that's fun, but it's not. And I've thought, okay, how would things look like in your perhaps like ideal life if you're being honest to yourself? Yes, we stripped it down and then we built it up to explore, and you've allowed yourself to express, and you've allowed yourself to go find your inner child and define things. But now it's like a period of reflection, refinement, and I feel like my brain is going through, I know it's summer now, it's July, I can't believe it's the middle of July almost. It's like the middle of July. It's crazy. The July is going back so fast. It's my favorite month. I need to get outside more, and I need to like learn how to live in the present. I do want that. I do want to learn the external world more, but I feel like I cannot be around other people. I want to do that alone, and I don't want to be so individualistic, but I feel like for what I know I might be here to do, that brings me fulfillment. What brings me fulfillment is not like I don't care about connection, I don't care about family, and I don't care about values, and I don't care about these things. I care about these things so deeply. It doesn't mean it's the right life path, but it's my life path. My soul is showing me, listen, none of this is meant to be external. That's just not your path. Like everyone has different blessings and different obstacles in life, and maybe I have the time now where I can create for people that went through what I went through, and try to be authentic and try to face myself. Like what a fucking blessing it is to be able to face my soul. What a blessing it is to discover yourself, and it's hard, but it's a blessing, you know? I don't like to complain. I want to be honest with myself. People will often say like, oh, have you regressed if you've gone more to the external? But do you understand the whole point to go to the external? It is reflection, but it's to have non-attachment, and that's what I realized. And even to create things externally, like it's fine to create things, but it should be coming from this place of connection. And I feel like I've been wanting to have structure for myself, but I felt like to create within your feminine energy, create within your flow, you could not have that. There's so much reprogramming of yourself that you need to go through, and the external will always reflect everything to you. My nails look crazy, and that's another thing. It's okay to show up messy. It's okay to not be perfect and not be put together. I don't want to perform in so many different ways. I don't want to perform, but I'm also realizing when it comes to this external, when it comes to meeting people, even though I can have an awareness, it's my life path. It's not that I don't want connection. It's just like the external environments and the things that I crave is different. You're meant to create. I believe that we are meant to create, and that is in one way to become sovereign individuals, because let's think about this. I think this whole thing about becoming sovereign, it is not to rely on anything without yourself. And I feel like that's what the whole world is trying to teach us, is to say it's not that you cannot love, right? Love is beautiful, and you have that, and you find with someone, and that's your path, and share that. If you have that with family, I'm so happy for you. And maybe a little bit jealous. No, I'm not jealous. Like sometimes I'm a little bit, I feel sad for myself because I want that for myself. I wanted that. That's just not my life path. I feel like it is my life path to question these things, and I know this, and you can only know your life path. And that being said, you have to follow what your soul will show you to do in each moment, and it's not going to make sense to anyone. If you are following your original blueprint, I don't think it will ever really make sense to anyone externally. And that also is like, okay, well, why am I considering the outside critic with so many different things? Like I've been saying I want to create community and stuff, but then there's also kind of, okay, the whole thing about sovereign creators, is like if we integrate, I feel like that's just the age we're in. It's not to put one person. The way in the past, it's so weird. People that are successful creators, like, okay, look at me, I'm a celebrity. No, I don't desire to want to paint an image for look at me. I don't want to look at me. I want to create in truth from my soul, and to be what I'm here to be, and to be truthful to what I'm meant to be. And I think that in being that can help maybe someone realize something within themselves. Me trying to see myself, it sounds so selfish, but it's like maybe someone can see that and see themselves through me, and maybe like recognize truth and honesty and not be so afraid to face themselves. And there's all these things I have wanted to create, and I've got so excitement. I want to create these things, and I've had these visions. There's so much destruction, I feel like, that comes with the love, but it's not with love. It's like destructing and deconstructing all of our beliefs about what was love, because love is so much more infinite, so much more magical. So this death comes from this attachment. So I had attachments to all these things because I had abandonment wounds, I had scarcity wounds. I feel like sometimes I'm still working through these. It's in my body, and I'm trying to work through them, and I'm just trying to be more aware of, if I don't want to do something, or my nervous system is freaking out externally, that's showing you something. something, and that's not to suppress something. Like if I run into someone and I meet someone, she's like a cool girl and she's like, let's hang out. I'm like, okay, could be fun. She seems so non-judgmental. And sometimes like you'll meet sometimes a girl and she won't be spiritual at all, and she'll think you're a little woo-woo, but she'll be like, that's your path, that's your journey. Sometimes you can have friends like that where you don't have to have this deep spiritual connection. Like they don't have to have gone through this despair and this ego death. I've been thinking, like, can I only hang out with women? The other woman I met from India, where she was so, you can tell we come from completely different backgrounds, completely different cultures. There's so many different things, like our upbringings were so many different, everything was so different, but it's like we connected based off similar spiritual experiences. Both saw some of the things that I never even told my podcast I told her. I'm like, people would think I'm crazy, and she's like, based off this, like we have to talk, just us holding hands, and not the sexual thing. When I really feel safe with a woman present, it's not this sexual thing at all. You feel so safe. I feel like when women are not male centered, I don't like to put people into these categories, and there's some people that are like, they love certain things and love certain things, and I don't like to categorize, I don't like to judge people. But I know with this one girl that we connected spiritually, and I was literally saw her on the day before I left. You see the spiritual side and the mystic side, and that way all over the world you realize how connected we are, and we're like sisters, and the beautifulness of connection and people, it's beautiful in modern environments. And just because of like what's going on in the world, I feel in modern environments, maybe it's me, I don't know, but with what's going on in the world, I feel, I don't want to create this separation, but I truly feel a lot of this city culture. The reason why cities sometimes are hard is because it is really centered around lust, and it's centered around maybe this like patriarchal view of living. I know that sounds like a very putting things in a category, and I know it's not true, because I know there's a lot of other people and men that want connection stuff. The fact is, I really do feel very unsafe. I don't know if I'll ever just be healed of this. I can heal things with myself. I can try to reprogram my body. I can be still with my body. But the truth is that a guy can be completely innocent and pure, have not done nothing wrong. But at the same time, my body is now registering men as a threat. And so sometimes I don't want to go out. Even if I want to go with girls, I'm not going out to want to dance and get like male attention. And I feel like the thought of even going out, I don't want to go out, and I don't want to drink. Could do that, and I could be like from the party, but it's like this performance almost. I don't want to do that, right? I want to go out and maybe to sit under dim lights and to do something and have an ambiance, and like I love that stuff. I love the art of life and the soul of life and connection, but I feel like there's not a lot of things in cities. Like maybe there is, but to me that's what I feel like. There's not a lot of things that create those environments, that creates that space. I feel like sometimes in cities, that's why it's hard to align with people who have perhaps like similar values. And I'm also realizing that I really have like a hard time attaching to people, even though I had these attachment. My lesson was detachment in a lot of these relationships. I don't think we should look to anything external. About astrology, I heard someone say, okay, well, it's all within, we should not look external. The whole point is that we should always look internal. Everything external is reflected back. We should not worship anything. We should not worship another person. No one should worship me. Don't want to be someone that makes it. I don't want to be this. I'm realizing I just want to be. Like I literally just want to be. And it does feel like this homecoming to yourself. But again, I felt this homecoming to myself last summer. I was in a spiritual state. I felt like I was literally sunk in the soil. People thought I was going crazy. I was such a spiritual state, and sometimes there's a couple days I really was, because there's a fine line between insanity and sanity, which I'm not going to get into. But I really want to focus on some more frivolous things and external things, because I felt like I was so bad at them and I was so awkward at them, and I wanted them to compliment me. I felt learning how to speak or learning how to interact with other people or learning these things, it's like I had to push myself out of my comfort zone. It's like I had to do this. I've been realizing about myself is that it was like the ego was lying to me. Shocker. It was the ego lying to me and saying that I need to learn these things outside of myself. So humans are wired for deep connection. I really do believe that, because I think there is this part of me that's like, I still do long for community, and I think that I know, and I do long, and I hope in the future that the world could be living in communities, and maybe the world will go back to that in the future, where people are living in communities and like we're living more in connection with Earth, where none of us are the focal point viewpoint. We just each have our own thing that we are meant to create and we're meant to do, and the world is a more safer place and it's more harmony and understanding. I feel like there's this shift that has to happen, and that has been happening within me, where it's like my mind has been shifting from like patriarchal viewpoints to more this matriarchal perspective, but this includes men. That's my problem. I'm starting to realize that there's certain environments that I can exist in. It's not to be scared, but it's to understand my soul and to understand what it needs and understand the medicine that I need to give my soul. The medicine that I need to give my soul is like listening to it. Like, what does my soul need right now? And sometimes my soul just needs different things. Sometimes you have to go more into this more sun part of you. These are limiting words, right? Like I've said before, there's a million ways to describe things, and whatever, everyone looks exactly like they're right, but I just feel like there is probably a better way to describe this, but again, like limited perception of words, and that's why I do want to expand. I take a step back from creating for about a week or whatever, because I had to reflect, and there was just a new moon last night, and I was really reflecting, and I was thinking, I really want to be more timeless with my things. Why am I so silly with so many things? Sometimes I had let myself be silly. It was like getting my inner child, and I had to listen to myself and getting my inner teenager, but now I'm like, I want to really deepen into my soul, and I want to really follow my path of trusting what's within, and I'm doing this through speaking and like learning how to face myself in this way, giving myself permission. This is what the way forward for me that's been very clear to me. But there's other ways where I thought I was trying to create before, and I was trying to learn things. Like I'm trying to learn things externally, but sometimes this external learning, it can sometimes corrupt. Is that the right word? We're so focused on doing something, we're naturally mimicking behaviors. Like, how do we learn different languages from other people? We mimic things, we do these things, and I think it is sometimes healthy to consider the external, to consider other perspectives. Okay, how can I go learn some other words? Because like I can have my philosophies about life. I feel like I have a limited amount of vocabulary to describe these things, and I feel like if I gain other perspectives, or I read, or I learn how to teach myself to be still more in that way of reading and patience, because I'm flow, then that can be a good thing. And I think it's not inherently wrong to learn from other people that have walked, but it's never to put someone else's life. Everything's particularly a guide, or to reflect something, or to deepen something within yourself. Yeah, so that's one way, I guess, I'm reflecting. Also, yeah, just letting myself be messy and choosing to just be, because I feel sometimes no one's going to know really like what your journey is. No one's going to know like what you need to listen to within your soul. And what I've realized within my soul, why am I in fear? What am I seeking really? Like, what am I seeking? What I want in my life is far more simple. It's not necessarily that I want more, it's that I actually want less stress. I want to live. What brings me most fulfillment is me creating. It's me speaking my voice, it's me speaking my truth, and I feel like that brings me connection. I am not creating for the noise, but I'm creating for what my soul needed. And I also think that it's kind of important. I'm kind of been debating if I want to do this. Do I just not want to read anything externally? How can you say you want a community, but then it's like you don't want to factor that in? But I feel like factoring in this outside critic, there's always going to be someone that's like, can you do this better? Can you do this better? But I can't. I'm quite aware of my flaws. I'm quite aware of things that also could be received as flaws, but there's things that sometimes like I am actually letting myself unrestrict and be free and flow, and they'll have a comment. I understand like people, they think they're helping me, and I think that means they'll get more views and all these things, and it would. I'm realizing with me, I don't want a mass audience. I do want connection, and that's the way I want connection in the way that the things I want to create, I want it to help someone else resonate with that and have that connection, because I want them to resonate that truth. Because the thing is, it's not just about you can't trust people online. The online is just a reflection. People aren't trustworthy in real life. A therapist, just because she does not have an online presence, is not more trustworthy working for an institution because she got a degree, because she studied psychology. She studied 4 years of psychology because a course told her. The whole world, you can study basically anything. Yes, there's banning books and things like this, and you really can teach yourself anything. You have the authority. You can teach yourself anything. But also I've been thinking, here's another thing with the external. I feel if you want to be a creator, I really do feel like I want to be a better voice. I want to mature, and because of certain privilege of not being born in a certain culture, even though I've been through trauma, have been through things, but at the same time I feel very blessed that I am in a life where I genuinely am in safety. You know, I don't have it as bad as other people do. If you have a certain privilege, I feel like you start to realize, okay, the importance of voice when other people don't have voices. I want to be authentic, but I also want to mature. Maybe I was swearing too much. I don't want to conform, but there's things I want to work on. It's not that that's wrong, right? I was laughing at it before because I'm like, I curse like a sailor, and I'm like, okay, well, I come from a family of sailors. That's the thing with the external. That can be fun. Doing things and not just being in your head can also be fun. Life and seasons often have this deep call and pull to go sailing. I feel so connected to the ocean and the sea. I really often just want to absolutely disconnect from the external, to go at sea and to write. I feel when I'm very disconnected from the world, I can feel very connected to myself at times. But then also, if I'm not taking action on things, it depends on the season of my life, then I don't feel fulfilled. And I feel that when I'm consuming and there's so much information to consume in this world, I don't feel fulfilled because I'm not creating. And I feel like I need to move energy through me. There's other ways where I want to move energy through me. So anyways, I want to go through this refinement. I don't think I was chasing attention. I just feel like my brain was like, okay, I have to do this. I have to learn this skill. The way that I am moving through something, people always comment things and they have their theories and they have their reasons like why I'm doing this, but no one really knows. No one knows why I'm doing something. I could be embarrassing at something, but meanwhile, I'm just laughing, and I'm laughing at myself in the process because it's like I'm trying to teach myself a lesson and it's not that serious. And like, people just never know why you're doing something, and that's why I'm like, I do want to detach from this external audience because I feel like it's already hard to perceive yourself, and I just want to become a little bit more undone. And sometimes I annoy myself. I feel like my ego, I think I had to integrate my ego, but sometimes I'm like, okay, now it's time to go back to your soul and go back to that rawness a bit that really made you start talking about these things. Because it's weird, like you can be 4 years older and start to see things from a more mature way mentally, like you've had to go through certain things, but you can also be older but still feel like you know less. It's weird. I don't know. I think I still lean on the external. There's things that I want to use outside of me. What really brings fulfillment, really in this phase of my life, next season of my life, I've realized is that I actually do very much value my alone time and privacy, and I think I really do value my voice. I value the autonomy of my voice. That could be something I can honor. I can honor my voice and I can tell my stories, but it doesn't need to be necessarily loud, because sometimes like the loudest people, they're actually just painting this illusion externally, and they're very loud and they're chasing attention and they're building these, you know, every situation's different. Not everyone's like this that just builds a perfect thing externally, but a lot of times like people are focusing on building this facade. The more sometimes it can take from this internal world, and I've often repeated this cycle where I'm like, okay, I need to go create an external and I have to put away my soul. My soul has been speaking and speaking and speaking. I felt like I was at this period where I had to put my soul away to ground. That is just me trying to find this internal balance within myself, because again, if you seek that masculine energy without, it's not necessarily wrong to experience that without, right? Because sometimes some people can have those harmonious union whatevers or marriages where they have different roles, whether it's a gender roles and it works for them. My parents, they did that perfect gender roles, but what is that taught when a woman is taught this is what it means to be a woman and this is what it means to be a man? They're taught a woman can't be ambitious, she can't, she has to stay home mom. Things like this can break, right? It's not that anything's wrong, it's just about understanding what you desire. Men should not necessarily be this way, but we all, I feel like to some extent, everything is reflecting back at us. What men hate, not men, but if men hate feminine energy or they have these addictions and these things, it's like, okay, well, it's because you hate the feminine energy. You've been taught to hate feminine energy. You've been taught to hate love outside of yourself. But then as a woman, women are taught to seek love outside of herself in the form of masculine containment, that surrender. You are looking for someone to save you outside of yourself, but you were meant to save you. That doesn't mean that each little person we run into can't save us or guide us. No one's meant to save us. You are meant to save yourselves. Really, you're meant to save yourselves. I'm not saying I'm calling myself a healer or anything like this, but I just think that the best healers are people that they are not saving you. Stop worshiping things. Stop worshiping religion. It's not to also be full of self, to understand what you were created to be, but I needed to experiment with my ego. I didn't need to create these things. I was just experimenting. Do I find fulfillment in taking a video of my outfit like this? Oh, this is not my style. This is not this. You have to be embarrassing. You have to be weird. You have to do these things to experiment. but then you also always come back to your soul. It's like, this is not sustainable. Oh, this is performance. Okay, I want to create, and yeah, you create the stage, you're yourself on the stage. The whole thing about performance, and the thing that's weird about Hollywood is that there's people that are creating these false, it's always about hiding behind something, right? But the thing is, it's not perform. If you're being, there's always going to be this barrier. I don't want there to be this barrier, but the more that I reprogram myself to not feel unsafe around other people, perhaps I can dissolve this barrier into my creations, but also understanding that I would need that intimacy with myself. It's okay that I operate this way, and I'm tired of apologizing for operating the way I operate. I'm tired of it, because the way I operate, I'm understanding maybe it's different. I think we're all different. We're all beautiful in our ways. I can't shame myself for being this way. I can't shame myself for experiencing the things I've experienced. I think I really am ready to let go of some things. I really just am trying to acknowledge each phase in my journey. So I'm really just trying to be open-minded and to explore each phase in my journey. I think that if we really have to force anything, there's a difference between like, okay, knowing where your soul wants to go, where your soul wants to guide you, and actually just like forcing yourself to not be true to yourself for some reason. I mean, I don't really like these definitions anymore, and that's the thing about evolution, is you are reflecting, and sometimes you have like a new perspective, and that's okay. You know, if there's like a spiritual like person, like I don't even know, I was person that's on their path, they're like, oh, you're you know this, but like you need to do this or this. I'm like, no, I don't actually. I can just be where I am, and I can share the things I've learned as I go. And what I really desire in my life is I want to explore philosophy, and I want to study life, and I want to continuously be the student of life, and I want to continue to gain my voice and my authority, and to create from that space. It's really difficult to create from your soul. It's a process to find your style, and I just think each phase or whatever you're going through reflects certain things. This next phase in my life, like I really just want to show up more. I want to take more action, because I really want to lean more in this masculine side of myself in a healthy way. I want to move my body more, because I feel sometimes like I feel very confident in my soul, but I think something that prevents my confidence externally is because I have so much self-love in the way that I feel like sometimes you have to not be so obsessed with your image, and like let certain things, not like let yourself go. But if you're going through grief, it's more important to feel that. Sometimes you're gonna be exhausted. I really wholeheartedly believe that sleep is one of the most important things, and sometimes in life I think it's important to sleep, or just to listen to your body, because sometimes we push our body, and I just don't think that is like what women are meant to do. We are different, and if your body is communicating with you and your body is in a season of rest and needs that, then that's fine. I just believe that. That's just my belief, and I believe that to live intuitively, to be intuitively, I really don't need much in life. I want to create. I don't need all of the external things. And what I'm realizing, what I need in life, I want to go to waterfalls once in a while. I want to have a creative space that I feel just so safe in, and that I just get to talk into people all over the world and create. I don't need to broaden my messages. I don't need to do this. I just need to trust that like the right people will find me, and that all of this work that I'm putting in, it's not for this game, it's for this reason, and the work that I'm putting in will support myself. I think that we just need enough. Like we don't need so much excess. I feel like I've always had expensive taste. Like I've always had the taste of like, okay, this is the high quality thing, the authentic thing. I like the authentic thing. I like wearing natural fabric. I think the world operates in a code of abundance. I think that love and everything, it's infinitely abundant. We were meant to be sovereign creators. I just think it is coming from this place of like, I really do want community, but I want it from this place of what I was such a spiritual state. I was like, okay, we're new earth and all this stuff, like chanting this stuff. Sometimes when you're such a spiritual state, like you see things like years, you see things and you're like, oh my god, this is the way it is, the world's changing, and it is very ungrounded, but it's like you feel, okay, well I don't even need to prove this, I don't even need nothing, because like you don't need, right? But again, I don't feel like it's this arrival. It's not this arrival, because you will go back in and integrate, and it's like this wheel, right? That's what it feels like. It's this wheel. You get the crown when you break the cycle, but then it's like you go through another cycle and you learn different things and you become refined and you really season into yourself. That's what I'm excited for. But I'm also just, hey, this is where I am, and feel like I saw this infinite potential within myself. I feel happy when I'm pursuing. I think humans are meant to not just be, some humans, they will find fulfillment in just being by the beach every day and surfing. And sometimes I'm like, hey, yeah, I want to go reconnect with nature. I want to go surf in Santa Teresa and, you know, vibe and do pure Vita, but I can do that for a little while. while, and I'm like, okay, I need to go back to my creative rhythm. I need to document these things because I need to document so it's reality. I really want to write. I really want to write deeply. But the thing is with writing is that I just want to write for my soul. Like I want to write truly. And the thing about writing, it's about translating your soul. You don't have to necessarily learn things, but I do. And I want to learn. I want to read. And like, what do I really desire in life? I really want to read more. I am looking for these things. I'm deeply interested in philosophy and things, and I want to learn outside of myself. I don't think that's a wrong thing. Realizing that it's like, okay, all these things I'm craving, it's more introversion. I'm having to give acceptance to myself and just feel like whatever, like this is who I am, accept me or not. I don't want to be considered a self in this image of self. That's where I feel like the exhaustion comes from, and I always felt like that's just the masculine side, to consider the image of it. But a lot of people, they work on painting this perfected image of things. They work on this image, but that's not what brings fulfillment, and I don't want that. That's what was giving me anxiety. Like I feel like I saw this infinite potential or whatever, and it was like just giving me so much anxiety or things. I'm like, maybe I don't even want that. There's a cost to everything, right? And I don't want that. What brings fulfillment is I really am drawn to beautiful things, but I'm drawn to a simple life. I was staying in this big farmhouse for a while, and I would always just stay in the big place. I'm like, oh my god, I have to walk up all these steps to go upstairs, and I was in the middle of the dark alone. Okay, I know I don't have fear typically about things, especially if it's such a spiritual state. I like having sometimes almost like the structure of a city. I really like where I am now, but I realize that I like it when I'm honoring myself. I'm not paying attention to the world. I like going to dim dinners. In my ideal world, I love the romance to life, right? And the connection to life, but I don't want that attachment. I don't want to be attached to anything, and that's why I also want to freely, if I have a thing I want to do, I don't want to be so reserved with it. I've heard so many different people say over the years, oh, be private with this, don't tell anyone your dreams, and evil is a real thing, and people think you're crazy. But at the same time, like, I don't even care. I don't even care if I achieve these things. Like, I don't care. I want to go to hot yoga, and I have not done hot yoga in years. I used to go all the time to hot yoga, and I think about one of the happiest times of my life was 4 years ago. I was going through my awakening. I was just spared, and you know what I would do every day? I would just go to yoga. It was so easy because it was just my apartment. I would go to this yoga, and I love this hot yoga studio. I don't like yoga unless it's hot, and if it has bright lights, I'm not going. It has to be dim light. I love the candlelit ones. You go at nighttime, focus on the nervous system. It's just so calm and so peaceful, and I wish this wasn't a thing, but sometimes I feel like even in yoga studio, I don't want to be the sexist thing. I just feel sometimes whenever I go to any space now and there's men there, I feel so deeply uncomfortable, and it's not the men's fault. What's that saying? Not all women have rights until all women do. That's why I'm I want to mature in my voice, because I'm realizing, oh my god, I am realizing my privilege more. And even though I was I had to feel these pain, the things that I went through, not to conform your voice, but if you lean into this, and I want to be a stronger voice, and I want to be a better voice, and I want to deepen it, and I want to be of service, because I don't feel happy when I'm all of myself. And do I think that to go and take an outfit, I think to be creative is important, but to do these things, okay, I do this because I'm meant to do this, and I'm meant to dress up, and I'm meant to do this. I'm just experimenting, and I'm learning these things for myself. I also think that for so long I spent so much time on my internal world, and I didn't focus on my external. So I was what is my style? What do I want to wear? Should I consider myself? Should I wear my bra? I stripped it down, then building it up, but then when you build it up, you realize, okay, maybe that's not for me. Maybe I don't like wearing nails. I like natural nails, and I don't care if I'm doing something and my nails are stained from blueberries. I've been eating raw blueberries, the frozen ones. Apparently the wild blueberries are better for you than the other ones, because apparently blueberries are one of those foods that have pesticides in them. I have been looking to outside what's going on in these things. I want to be a voice, and that means you have to stick up with these things. You have to speak about these things. I want to be aware, to learn what's going on to the world, and to watch what's going on with the food system. It's so devastating to me, and it makes me want to go live in a place, and I want to have a garden, and I really dream about this. I actually really do. I really want to have my own garden and to live off the food. I'm just gonna be so boring to people, and I don't care, because I'm this is not boring to me. I'm literally just gonna make podcasts until I'm however old, and I'm gonna just explore the philosophy of life, and I'm gonna have a peaceful home with tons of plants everywhere, and I'm going to have a garden, and I don't need much, and I want to go to hot yoga, and I want to go on hikes in the forest, and I want to write, and I want to go on road trips once in a while and to create things. But it's I don't need to create things. It's from this extension, and everything that I create, it's okay, I have to create this because I wish this existed, but also it's a deeper reason. I want to create things from such a deeper reason. I want to make an impact, and sometimes I'm you're so silly. like, what a silly girl, look to the world, you think that you can make an impact. I saw this quote once and it stuck with me. I mentioned it before in some threads. It's so simple, but it just stuck with me. Story that I thought I could change the world. I don't know the exact word. It was like, and today I'll just focus on myself. Some words just stick with you. It's true. I can think about these things I want to do, but it's like, if you can't even just show up and face yourself today, that sometimes it just has to be the change that you want to see. And maybe I don't have to create these big things. I don't feel like I have to do what I've seen or I've done, this attachment. All I want to do is be. I think I do seek external comfort still, but it's like, I want to nest. I want to go and put weird things in my home. I feel like people need weird things in their home, not from this like materialism attachment thing, but from like, I want to nest and I want to make this a safe place, because the world doesn't feel safe all the time. I want to make it a safe place. It's not that you need access, it's that you need expression. You need to remind yourself what you feel like is you. And that's what I'm realizing with my life. I don't need big things. I don't need this huge house. I don't need these things for to die, but you can only sit at one place at one time. You can only do one thing one time. I want to go to yoga. I want to write. I don't want so many people to know me. I don't like to socialize all the time. I like to go socialize once in a while. If we have a connection, whatever. If not, let's not force it. Even if you have a connection with someone, I've known women from all over the world, and sometimes like, I'll have a really good conversation with them. It's like, we don't need to text all the time. We don't need to text for years or months. If we ever run into each other again, we're meant to. This attachment is what I don't want. I guess I could go on reflecting about the external world, all this stuff, and I was in a very more spiritual state, thinking like, is anyone even real? I think I'm going crazy. I feel like I'm in a more balanced state now, but I will continue to explore this, and maybe I'll continue to reflect. I really don't feel like I lack anything. I feel like I just want to do things that nourish myself. I want peace. I want a regulated nervous system, and I want to create for community. I do. All you can be is just like where you are right now, and that's okay. Right? Self-acceptance is very difficult. I feel like just having that wholeness, completion, it's not about being perfect. No, it's not.